but you're still on my mind, you know. I sat down by the riverside, fearing I could drink it dry and still not be satisfied. The banks are full with all this rain. If they'll overflow, I can't say. The crickets calling in the firelight, and a long and gentle sleep tonight. Looking out into a sea of green, thinking on the years and miles that lie between. You're still on my mind. Yeah, you're still on my mind, you know. You know. Still on my mind, you know.
Let me tell you about my angel, the one you never see, my everyday companion, living deep inside of me. She guides me through the trenches, she gets me out of every mess. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. Well, she leads me on my journey, she leads me to the goal. She's always on the money, never leaves me in the cold. And every time I listen, I wind up being truly blessed. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. I'm at the fork in the road, I gotta make a choice. So much going on, I don't...
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to
everybody.
Inside Live.
How y'all doing?
Good to see you. Thanks for being here with us for another week. I'm Alice Howe.
And I'm Freebo, and this is Inside Live. We're glad you're here.
We are streaming with video and audio on Facebook and YouTube live at Alice Howe Music and Freebo's fan page. And we are also on the radio at 103.7 WPVM LP in Asheville, North Carolina, 103.7 on the dial, and globally at WPVMFM.org. The voice of Asheville. We are happy to be on the air.
We are, and tonight we have no special guest. Well, actually, my special guest is Alice Howe, and her special guest is me. And we're going to...
So really, we have two special guests.
We do have two special guests. Well, thank you. So we're going to have some fun tonight, and we're going to just ask each other questions as if we're interviewing each other, as if we don't know the answers to those questions, but you'll get the answers, and maybe our answers will be different each time. Who knows? And we're going to trade songs. We're going to have a lot of fun. So if you're in on the chat, please do say hi, and don't be afraid to request songs. And if you're just listening on the radio, please do enjoy it. We'll be with you for the next hour.
Here's a song by a songwriter that I just adore. His name is Greg Brown. It's one of my favorites of his. It's called Spring Wind.
On your brand new electric guitar.
That's right, on my brand new Ernie Ball Music Man Valentine electric guitar that I am so excited to be playing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Lived a while without you, darn near half my life. I no longer see our unborn children, born to you, my unwed wife. But yesterday I had a vision beneath the tree where we once talked of an old couple burning their love letters so their children won't be shocked. Love calls like the wild birds. It's another day. Spring wind blew my list of things to do away. My friends are getting older, so I guess I must be too. Without their loving kindness, I don't know what I do. Oh, the wine bottles have emptied. The money's all spent. We're a cross between our parents and hippies in a tent. Love calls like the wild birds. It's another day. A spring wind blew my list of things to do away. In a mucked up lovely river, I cast my little fly. I look at that river and smell it, and it makes me want to cry. Oh, to clean our dirty planet. There's a noble wish, and I'm putting my shoulder to the wheel, 'cause I want to catch some fish. Love calls like the wild birds. It's another day. A spring wind blew my list of things to do away. The children go to sleep now. You know it's getting late. You know you don't like to miss nothing, and school ain't that great. Oh, I'll dance with you when you're happy, and hold you when you're sad, and hope you know how glad I am just to be your dad. Love calls like the wild birds. It's another day. A spring wind blew my list of things to do away. Darling, it's been a hard go, but I think we'll be okay. I know I say that all the time, like everything else I say. Oh, I've been gone so often, but every time I miss you, and I don't really know nothing, except I like to kiss you. Love calls like the wild birds. It's another day. A spring wind blew my list of things to do away. Ooh. Thank you. Thank you, Greg Brown, for writing that song. That's from his record, Dream Cafe. I just love him so much. I've had the pleasure of seeing Greg Brown a couple times in concert, and he's just amazing. Great voice, great songs, great guitar playing, real character. Yeah, I was thinking about that song because it's kind of a spring wind right now outside.
Mm-hmm. Hey, thanks for turning me on to that song. I mean, to Greg in general, I'd heard so much about him. I knew a few of his songs, but I don't think I really truly appreciated it until you played me that song and I went, wow. And then
The Poet Game.
Oh, The Poet Game, yeah.
There's this
that
song, you
Tom
guys.
Paxson turned us on to, which is just an amazing
Check
song.
out The Poet Game by Greg
Yeah.
Brown if you want to have a good cry and like a little chuckle too. But glad you guys are liking my new electric, and indeed, to answer one question in the chat, I do have a little bit of chorus on here. I have a little reverb on it too, but it's sounding so good, and if you're watching online, you can see how green it is, so I'm very happy to show you guys. I know I talked a lot about this guitar before it came into my possession, so...
Yeah, and I feel so fortunate to be able to help you out with it. It's a Music Man, Ernie Ball Music Man, and I've been playing an Ernie Ball Music Man bass for years now. This is a 5-string Stingray, but the two of them together are pretty nice with
They
the
go
the blue and the
together.
green.
It's
They
the
really
little
do.
sister of yours.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Do you want to play a song, Freebo,
Well,
before
as
we
long as I
get
have
into...
the bass, why don't you play
Oh,
one more while you
okay.
have that, and then maybe I'll play one or two.
Any suggestions?
Any
Gosh.
questions? Well, how did you and Freebo first meet?
Oh yeah, there was that question in the chat. That's a
Oh,
great...
was there?
Yes.
Oh, I was just kind of. go ahead, answer that.
Oh well, I
How
thought
did we
it was
first
a
meet?
great intro question to this episode here. Well, so many of you have heard us talk about the Folk Alliance conferences. It's an organization, Folk Alliance International, that has really wonderful networking and music conferences for industry folks, artists, managers, labels, booking agents, venues. Everybody kind of gets together and meets a few times a year. There's regional conferences and an international one too, and they happen all over the country. And Freebo and I met at the very first one that I ever went to, which was in Stamford, Connecticut, near my hometown in Boston. And I was kind of just getting into being a pro. I had been playing out for some years on and off, but I was really ready to take it to the next level. And I was going to the conference, didn't know anybody, and I bumped into Freebo at the evening cocktail party.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing his name tag and thinking,
The
that
hell
is a
kind of a name is
really
that?
weird name. And then I looked up at this very kind face, and he said, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Alice." And then later that led to my sharing my EP with you that was going to be coming out the next year. And I mean, you could tell this part of the story, I guess,
Well, I thought it was.
if I let you.
No, I thought. Are you about to let me?
I don't know. I guess so.
No, I'm only gonna say good stuff about it. It was a beautiful EP, and Alice produced it herself. It was really just her on acoustic guitar, and her friend Jeff Fielder on electric with just a little bit of coloring accompaniment. And I thought she had a beautiful voice, and there were some beautiful songs. But I guess what I heard is I heard some other stuff. I thought this beautiful, nice little folk EP, but I don't say it disparagingly, but I just...
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, but I just heard these other things that I thought, I said, why don't you come out to California and let me produce a couple songs for you?
And I
let's see
immediately
where they
thought,
go.
California? Oh my God. Fly to LA? And then I went home and looked at my mom's Bonnie Raitt records and saw Freebo on the back, and I was like, okay, this is legitimate. This is not, one of those come out to California and let me show you my studio type things. This seemed totally legit.
Yeah, well, and it is, and it was really interesting for me to present Alice with a band, say, okay, we're going to take this folk thing, and you can still play your guitar, but we're just going to give you a little bit more oomph behind it, and pretty much sing the same way, but I think you'll find that some other things just start to happen as you hear things, and you'll start to play out people, and it was really wonderful just to watch her grow, just intuitively, just to listen to the players and feel a little bit of funk, a little bit of soulfulness, and get a little bit more into her blues range and
Great
genre and
experience for me.
attitude.
And if I may, I feel like I've watched you grow over the last few years too, since I've known you, into the songwriter and singer that you continue to be. You've written some great songs since I've known you. You've covered some great songs. You've expanded your repertoire too. So I feel like it's been a really cool mutual growth opportunity.
Well, it has been, and that's led to us playing together. That as we did the recording together, we started doing some shows together, and I learned Alice's tunes, and it took me back to playing bass back when I played with Bonnie Raitt, and we were a duo, another redhead. And so it kind of got me back. And it's one thing playing bass with the band, it's another thing playing bass with just another guitar player and a singer. It's a whole different kind of a mindset, and I love that. And I said I did it for a long time, and then I got out of it. So to get back into that was great for me to get back into the bass chair. Wound up showing Alice some bass and singing harmonies. And I've always loved singing harmonies. As Alice, we were both in vocal groups, a cappella vocal groups in college. And so for us to find that, and so it's just kind of grown into this, what you're seeing on the show and what we do for a lot of live shows, and it's been pretty cool.
Yes, and someone had asked Freebo, did you start playing the fretless from the beginning, or did you start on the fretted bass?
I started on the fretted bass, and actually it was in Philadelphia. I was in the band called the Edison Electric Band. 66 to 71, we actually got a contract on Atlantic Records, and we made one record, and I played a Fender bass. I had a 65 precision bass, and one day I walked into a music store called Music City, and we all knew each other. It was becomes a small community, and they showed me this fretless bass. It was an Ampeg, and I thought the idea was great, but it was an Ampeg, it wasn't a Fender. And a year later, I walked in, and they said, "Hey, look what we got." And they had a Fender fretless bass, and I played it, and I loved it, and I put $50 down on it, and I said, "Okay, save it for me," and I eventually got the money to buy it, and sat with it for a couple months because I was intimidated, and finally, the band I was playing with, we had a gig in Northeast Philly at a bar. I said, "Nobody's going to come there." It was 5 sets a night, 6 nights for the week. I thought, okay, for 30 sets, I'll kind of take this out and learn how to play it. And by the end of the week, I was so in love with it, I haven't put it down since. And so I've been playing fretless bass ever since. Occasionally I'll play fretted, but there's something about the fretless that's just really special, that really it's expressive in a whole different kind of a way. So thanks for asking that.
Cool. There's some great questions you guys are sending in the chat. Those of you who are listening on the radio at WPVM FM, we do have our live chats going on Facebook and YouTube, so we get to see folks' comments, and you can also join us on there if you want to switch over from the radio and go to WPVM FM on their Facebook page, or to Alice Howe Music, or to Freebo fan page on Facebook. Or if you're not a Facebook person, you can find us on YouTube at Alice Howe Music or Freebo Music and join in the chat there. We love to see everybody's comments.
I saw where Andrea said, "Hey, Freebo, first saw you with Bonnie in Fairbanks, Alaska."
Wow.
I love that. Yay for the redhead, she said.
Yes,
Right
I saw
on.
that one. And someone had asked me how I chose green for my guitar, and I had commented that, well, first of all, we all know it's a complementary color with orange.
It
so
is, yeah.
that's definitely part of it, not going to lie. But I've always had a special affinity for green. I grew up spending a lot of time in Vermont, which is the Green Mountain State.
Sure is.
And I think partly that Vermont love. I know Ray Masuko is watching. Hey, Ray.
Hey, Ray.
Our friend from VT. So I just feel like that's part of my green love.
But that's a particularly nice tree. What's the color of that green exactly? What's it called?
They call it charging green.
Charging green.
I'm not really sure where that name came from, but
No, it's really cool. It's not quite metallic, but
it is.
it's a sort of metallic.
It is.
It's really cool. So what are you going to play on it?
Let's do Travelin' Soul.
Oh, okay.
Did that get louder? I am a traveling soul with a brand new set of wheels. They ask me how I do it. I said I like the way it feels. This is the life I chose, seeking truth along this road. It's easy to be running, but so hard to stay behind. I have to keep in motion to ease my worried mind. But the more I see, the more I fear just what I'll find. It's the same old two-lane highway and the same old moon above, the world of contradictions and the longing to be loved. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. Well, the towns that pass my windows, they all start to look the same. They're overrun by corporate greed disguised as household names. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. It's a bitter pill to swallow. The country that you love has a history of violence that is written out in blood. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. It's the same old two-lane highway and the same old moon above, a world of contradictions and the longing to be loved. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. I could drive all night on this brand new set of wheels, and they ask me how I do it. I said I like the way it feels. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. It's the same old two-lane highway and the same old moon above. I'm a world of contradictions, but I'm longing to be loved. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. Traveling soul, I could drive all night. Thank you. That's a new song of mine. It's called Traveling Soul.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for you guys to hear the full band version recorded in Muscle Shoals, Alabama at Fame Studios with Freebo producing. We've got such good music coming your way for my next record.
We're very excited, that's
very
for sure.
exciting.
Yeah,
There's-
that one's recorded,
Yeah.
and we did that before COVID, almost a year and a half ago, I guess. And we're going to go back down in July. We've got how many days? 11 days. We've got 11 days
11
booked.
days
and
booked
we've
at
got the
Fame.
band and I've got some wonderful.
I
new
rented a
tunes
band
and-
house. My dream in life has been to rent a house for the recording of a record. We're going to go. We're going to We're going to cut it. We're going to mix it. It's going to be done. Can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We've had these. I basically had a 2-day session with the guys and with Freebo 2 years ago, and ever since then I've been waiting to go back and finish it. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know, check out the Muscle Shoals documentary. It's this wonderful town
on
in
Amazon
Alabama.
Prime. It's so good.
It really talks about, I mean, Aretha Franklin, I think Joe Tex, Wilson Pickett, Dwayne Allman played in the band for a while. My buddy Will McFarlane, we played together in Bonnie's band for 5 years. He's part of the Muscle Shoals rhythm section.
Just some iconic songs were cut there. I mean,
they back so many people.
Mustang Sally, I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You, When a Man Loves a Woman. It's just like
Percy Sledge.
They call themselves hit recording capital of the world, which, hey, why not call yourself that?
and the band called themselves the Swampers.
The Swampers.
They play real swamp music.
And Etta James, of course. Yes, somebody said Etta James. That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, check it out. So it's a wonderful documentary, and it was so cool. I actually was in the studio before I saw the documentary, so to see some of the walls, the halls, going upstairs,
very cool.
The control room was really, really amazing. So, yeah, so some of our music is in those walls, and some more of it's going to be in them, and it's you're going to be able to hear it.
You going to play something that I need to play bass on?
I could. Let me play. Since you did two, let me do two, and I'll do something you play bass on first.
Sounds good.
Just warm up. Start with an old favorite. She Loved My Dog More Than Me, and then I think I want to play a cover, a song, a Stephen Bruton song that I really love, since you did a Greg Brown song. So let me put my partial cable on
One of the
here.
songs you started playing since we began playing together about, let's see, what was it? What do you mean, 5 years ago? Somebody asked how many years.
Well, 4 years. I said 20 because we met in 2016 and we started playing together 2017.
Yeah.
4 years. Well, you all know this one. And for you new people, maybe you don't know it, but it's pretty simple. Sing along when you get the chorus. True story. Dog song. Ready?
Yes. One, two, three, four.
Once upon a time, everything was so fine, cozy, just my baby and me. I was so well fed, had my breakfast in bed. I was happier than man can be. Then my buddy called up, had the cutest little pup. I couldn't help but take him in. Little did I know her affection would go to my new little four-legged friend. Now she loved my dog more than me. She loved my dog more than me. I love my dog. She loved my dog, but she loved my dog more than me. We were lying by the fire, burning with desire, when suddenly to my chagrin, as the fire got to stoking, came a cold nose a poking somewhere it should not have been. I thought she'd shoo him away, but she told him to stay. It kinda took me out of the zone. Now a man's best friend gets a girl in the end, and I'm left holding the bone. Go on, sing along, Asheville. She loved my dog more than me. She loved my dog more than me. I love my dog. She loved my dog, but she loved my dog more than me. So I'm sitting here fuming while he's getting all the grooming. That ain't how it's supposed to be. Well, you know I don't hate him, but I got maybe it's the dog or me. Well, I got a reply as she led me outside, and she handed me my people chow. Now I'm howling at the moon while he's up in my room, and I'm in the doghouse now. 'Cause she loved my dog more than me. She loved my dog more than me. I love my dog, she loved my dog, and she loved my dog more than me. There's a moral to the story. When you fall from the glory, you gotta do it gracefully. So I'm back in the bed with the dog at the head. We're a nuclear family, and I accept my fate. You know there's little debate, because there ain't no democracy. From the moment he came, it's been a doggone shame. You guessed it. That she loved my dog more than me. 2, 3, 4. She loved my dog more than me. She loved my dog more than me. I love my dog. She loved my dog, and she loved my dog. One more time. She loved my dog more than me. She loved my dog more than me. I love my dog. She loved my dog, and she loved my dog more than me. Yes, I love my dog. She loved my dog, and she loved my dog more than me.
This fretless is harder to play tonight than
Really?
it's ever been. I don't know what's happening with that.
Maybe because you're used to that small electric.
Something was moving around on me.
Oh dear. Well, it's got no frets. That's kind of what it does.
Oh, man.
Well, let's see. I think I want to do. Let me. What key do I want to do this in, Alice?
Oops, I'm sorry. I just want to say hi to our friends at Cordial Cables USA, who are continued wonderful supporters. We'll be doing our Cordial Cable giveaway in the after party. And I just want to say thanks again to you guys for watching. Thanks to you are listening to WPVM FLP in Asheville, North Carolina, 103.7 on the dial, and globally at WPVMFM.org. Thanks for watching on Facebook. Please take a second to share the stream on Facebook. That helps more folks find the show. And if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for being with us. And we so appreciate your support. If you would like to support tonight's artist, you can go to alicehowe.com/support or follow any of the links on the chat.
And I see a couple of my friends from Schiller College in Germany, where I was a student. 64, 65, and my roommate was a wonderful guitar player and human being named Jerry Donahue. And if it weren't for Jerry Donahue, very first day he pulled out his guitar and started playing, and I didn't have a guitar. I'd given it back to my high school teacher several years before, my band director. But I ran down the hall and I found a guitar, borrowed it from a friend, and sat down, and I just started strumming along, and Jerry stopped. He said, "Where'd you learn to do that?" And I said, "What?" He said, "Play bass like that." I said, "I don't know. I just kind of hear those notes." And he said, "We got to get you a bass. You're a natural bass player. Got to start a band." And we did. And had that not happened, that was literally my first band. And I really enjoyed it when I came back to Pennsylvania, to University of Pennsylvania, and joined a glee club and met a guy there, wonderful guitar player. And we sat down, did the same thing, and he said, "Hey, we're starting a band. We need a bass player." I said, "I can do that." And that became the Edison Electric Band. That's where I met Bonnie Raitt, and one thing led to another. And I wouldn't be here without Jerry Donahue. So hello to my friends Kathy and Keith, who were back there then.
Hi,
oh,
Keith.
My God, 55, 56, 57 years ago. Well, we're still alive. And yeah, poor Jerry had a stroke about 5 years ago and cannot speak and cannot play anymore. But just for you guys out there, I visited him and he's still hanging in there. And I know he would send his love, and lots of love to Jerry. So I think this song actually is very appropriate for that whole thing, because it's a wonderful song by Stephen Bruton. Stephen passed about 7-8 years ago. A wonderful Texas songwriter and guitar player. When I was playing with Bonnie as a duo, he was playing with Christofferson as a duo, and I think he picked up a few things in songwriting. And this is just a gorgeous song, just about life and the passing of time. It's called Too Many Memories. I remember this town and a girl by my side, and a love seldom found in this day and time. And it gets melancholy every now and again when you let your mind go and it drifts way back when life plays its tricks, some cruel but fair, and even a fool can't pretend that he don't care. When there's too many memories for one heart to hold, and the future once bright now seems so distant and cold, and the shadows grow long and your eyes look so old, when there's too many memories for one heart to hold. There are those moments, and they just never fade, like the look in her eyes and the way the light played. God moved in that moment, and the angels all cried, and they gave you a memory that you'll have till you die. Another lesson you learn, and you don't dare forget. What makes you grow old is replacing hope with regret. When there's too many memories for one heart to hold, and the future once bright now seems so distant and cold, and the shadows grow long and your eyes look so old, when there's too many memories for one heart to hold. Too many memories. Thank you. Somebody said, what is his song? It's called Too Many Memories by Stephen Bruton, Bruton, and you might want to check out his music if you can find it. He's just a great songwriter, very, very soulful cat, great guitar player. Matter of fact, Bonnie Raitt on his version Bonnie Raitt sings a very similar duet to what Alice is doing with me. And on my new record, and I'm going to put out one song at a time as a single, and that's going to be one of them. Maybe that'll be the third or the fourth single, but Alice sings on. It's really beautiful. Got some real nice instrumentation. So thanks for asking. And yeah, life just goes by, you know.
It does. It does. I thought I thought we could answer a couple more questions that came in.
Sure.
One person had asked me if I took voice lessons ever, and I thought it would be fun to mention that while I basically never did until about a week ago. No, I took maybe one or two a couple years ago with this wonderful teacher who's actually in the chat, which is why I want to mention her.
Oh, Florence.
Yeah,
you
Florence.
There?
Florence Riggs is in the chat. She's an incredible vocal teacher and vocal diagnostician. She's just brilliant. She has a whole system that she's developed over her whole career of teaching. I think she's probably taught for 5 decades or more at this point. She's
and many
just
great,
wonderful.
many great singers, made them even greater.
Yes, and I'm really happy to be working with her lately as I work to get in shape, so to speak. She's taken me to the vocal gym, as she calls it, as I prepare to sing this summer in Muscle Shoals. I feel like, you know, I just want to, it's about breathing. It's not about changing my voice at all. It's just about what do I do and how do I just have like a little more endurance and support for what I do so that I can, you know, get out over the band and maybe sing a little more strong on like some of those higher notes. So it's really fun actually for me to finally, in this, coming from a place of like confidence and feeling really good about what I already have, to get to work on stuff that I want to get better at. It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Florence.
Yeah, well, every craft takes work. You know, it really does.
It does.
And as good as you think you are, you can always get better. And sometimes, just like with even people like Tom Brady, you know, incredible quarterback, he continues to work on his mechanics.
Well,
every year he works
there's
on
a
them.
joy in, especially if it's something you already love. Like, I love to sing, and so I actually feel like I'm doing this special treat for myself to sit down for an hour and have her send me through the, you know, the exercises and stuff, so that it's different for me than practicing guitar, which always feels more chore-like. Vocal practice is, it's like, oh.
Well, you think of yourself as a singer first and guitar player second, right?
Yeah.
The guitar's accompaniment for your voice.
Yes. Although I will plug Sarah Rogo, also, who was our guest several weeks ago. She's been teaching me some blues and some electric and all kinds of slide, and that's been great.
Mm-hmm.
Although I need to practice more.
Keith Hawkins said, Alice, I love that you majored in medieval history, which she did at Smith, did very well at it.
That's true, Keith. Thanks for outing me. I did major in medieval European history at Smith, and yep, I'm very proud of that. I graduated magna cum laude, and I got 1 A- in my college career, and I'm totally a nerd at heart. So
what was that A- in?
It was in Latin.
Latin. Well,
Only one of 2 semesters, but
so you don't speak Latin that well, huh?
not so well.
And how many people do when you really get down to it?
Yeah, that's the whole thing about Latin. I had to take it for my medieval history major. It just was so practical. I thought that I would
so is medieval history. I mean,
I thought I would use those skills to then go on to become a songwriter.
Right.
Although
any Latin in your
jokes
writing?
aside, I do think that history is kind of storytelling, and songwriting is storytelling, and in a way, medieval history is it's so long ago that all the stuff you read that was written at that time sounds like a fairy tale or a story or something, and there's something very creative about it because you kind of think about it in all kinds of different ways, and my imagination would just run wild, and that would lead me back to my writing. So, you know.
Well, and human beings are basically the same as we were, 1,000 years ago.
That's
Have
what's
the
so
same
fascinating
emotions.
about it.
Emotions haven't changed, right?
Yep.
What you got?
Oh, let's see.
Do you want as much chorus on that? Or
Maybe a little less. Give me a little less. Let's do Homeland.
Okay.
I'm already in drop D.
All right.
Real quick, you guys have probably heard me do this song, but I wrote it when I was living in Seattle, and I used to do shows with this group called the Bushwick Book Club of Seattle, and they would assign a book to the group of songwriters, and we would all read it and then write a song inspired by that book. And in this case, it was a memoir of a man who, actually a local Seattle author, David Lasky, and he wrote a memoir about his family and how they had immigrated from Russia as they were Jews, and they fled the Nazis. Some of them perished in the Holocaust, and some made it to New York City, and some went on to Israel and became Zionists. And it was this really fascinating story about memory and history and how families disperse and how you are tied to who your people were, your ancestors, how it informs who you think of yourself as. And so I had this idea about the homeland blues, that was this longing to go back to somewhere that you felt you were from, but you'd never actually been there. So that's where this song came from.
All right. I'm ready.
Every night I've the strangest dream. All these ghosts are talking to me, laid down in my bed, and I can hardly sleep. These homeland blues got a hold of me. Well, I went over to my cousin's house to see if we could figure it out. He said it's plain to see you got them homeland blues. What hope have I got if what you're saying is true? And I got them homeland blues. Don't you know I got them homeland blues? Said I got them homeland blues. Don't you know I got them homeland blues? The sooner I book my ticket, the sooner I'll come running back to you. Well, I asked my mother, do you know what I mean? She could hardly look up at me, had her eyes to her paper, and I knew she had them too. Had her eyes on her coffee, and I knew she had them too. Have you ever missed something that you never even had? You're down so low and you feel so bad. That's when you know you got them homeland blues. Well, that's when you know that you got them homeland blues. And I got them homeland blues. Don't you know I got them homeland blues? Said I got them homeland blues. Honey, pull over, I got them homeland blues. The sooner I book my ticket, the sooner I'll come running back to you. Tell 'em, Freebo. I went outside and I couldn't get a cab. All distracted by the night we had, I sat down on the curb, nursing my homeland blues. I'm half out in the street and I'm nursing my homeland blues. gets lonely sometimes. I take a walk and it clears my mind, and I hold you tight to shake my homeland blues. Yes, I hold on tight and I shake my homeland blues. And I got them homeland blues. Don't you know I got them homeland blues? Said I got them homeland blues. Try to tell ya I got them homeland blues. The sooner I book my ticket, the sooner I'll come running back to you. If home is where I left it, the sooner I'll come running back to you. Thank you.
Yeah, hey, just want to let you people know too that the radio broadcast ends on the hour, but we will then be going to a live Zoom, a nice little chat room. If you folks in Asheville want to join us, come to my Facebook page, Freebo fan page, or Alice's Facebook page, or her YouTube channel.
Yep, Alice Howe Music. Easy to remember. It's Alice like in Wonderland and Howe with an E.
There's an opportunity where we get to see you, and you get to participate in our giveaway.
Yeah.
And you got to come there to check out and find out about it. We're not going to talk about it live on the radio because we can't, but we will in the room. And not only can you see us, but this is a chance where we get to see you.
Yeah.
And you can ask more questions, and we'll play more music, so it's a little more intimate. So.
And I think we had
Just
maybe
let you know
some musical requests, which we can hopefully get to during that part of the evening as well.
Okay.
Oh, Freebo, you're being compared to Jocko. That's pretty cool.
Wow. Well.
And he did play fretless also, Jack. Freebo, do you want to talk about Jocko a little bit?
Well, I'll just tell you one thing. Jaco Pastorius is widely known as perhaps the greatest bass player ever, and he was not exactly a modest guy. In fact, he used to say, "I am the greatest." And like Muhammad Ali, he was. He backed it up. He died much too soon. But I got to meet Jaco. A friend of mine, John Hall from Orleans, said, "Hey, you got to go to the Roxy in L.A. Weather Report's playing there." This was 1977. He got this great new bass player, and he plays fretless bass. And, of course, John knew I played fretless. Not a whole lot of other people played fretless bass at the time. So part of my attitude was, oh, yeah, somebody else playing fretless bass. Well, okay, we'll see how good they are. And I went, and, of course, I was absolutely blown away. Blown away so much where I thought I'd put my bass away and never play it again. And afterwards, I went up. He was standing at the side of the stage. It was over, and I went up to him. I said, "Hey, man, I just got to say, I was just blown away by your playing." And he said, "Oh, thanks, man." He said, "Thank, appreciate it. What's your name?" I said, "Freebo." He goes, "Freebo? I heard of you. You a bass player?" I kind of shrunk down, like, well, not really, but I said, "Yeah, I play." He said, "Yeah, you play fretless bass, right?" And I kind of shrunk down a little lower even. I said, "Yeah, I do." He said, yeah, I heard of you." And I asked him a few more questions, and the last part, Alice has heard me tell the story before, but he had these really wide set, almost E.T. type of eyes. And I said, "I just want to ask you a quick shop question." I said, "How many hours a day do you practice?" And he said, "Really, you want to know?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I practice 2 hours a day." He got close to me. I said, "Really? 2 hours?" And he got really close, and his eyes were this big, and he said, "Yes, but those 2 hours are really intense." And I'll never forget it. And a little bit of Jaco went into me that night, and hopefully a little bit of Jaco stays there. And I appreciate the comment. Who was that? Was that Jack?
That was Jack Rickenback.
Thanks, Jack. And we'll see you in Philly at the end of July for our little outdoor house concert. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So I guess I should play. I want to play one more song here, Alice.
You certainly should.
I want you to play bass. I hope you remember this because I must say we all know about the trial, and it was more than Derek Chauvin was on trial. There were a whole lot of things on trial, and policing and people's rights, and and respect and so many things. But I won't say I for one, I one of many, was very, very pleased with the result. Not as much for retribution, but for justice. And I wanted to just sing this song because I feel good. I feel good today. And I think a lot of people in America feel good, especially people who've been harassed unnecessarily. And it's a real simple song. Hopefully you remember this, Alice, but fake it if you don't. In the key of E, it's the same as sometimes it's for nothing.
Freebo, you spring these songs on me.
Well, you keep forgetting them, but it's just that this is how we never rehearse, by the way, so let you know, folks. Except we're about to go in the studio. So
we practice my songs.
We practice her songs.
We don't practice Freebo's songs.
But there's a nice little refrain. This refrain is "I feel good." So when you hear that, please sing along. And if you don't feel good, you'll feel better when the song's over.
Well, Lucy likes potatoes, Billy likes his beer, Johnny drives a hot rod, so we can get on out of here. Daddy's at the factory, overtime again. Mama's a clipping coupons instead of shopping with her friends. Well, sometimes it's for nothing, and sometimes it's for real. Sometimes you just know exactly how you feel, and I feel good. I feel good. Let me hear you sing. I feel good. I feel good. Sing with me, Alice.
I feel good.
Just like in the Bible, trouble comes along, things start getting out of hand. You can't tell right from wrong. Samson and Delilah, Cain and Abel too. Everybody's got to do just what they got to do. Well, sometimes it's for nothing, and sometimes it's for real. Sometimes you just know exactly how you feel, and I feel good.
I feel good. I
Feel good, yes I do.
I
Feel good like I knew I would.
I feel good.
Last night I saw a movie where the hero gets the girl. I was sitting with my popcorn, I was in another world. Maybe I'm a dreamer, but this I truly swear. I saw the hero disappear, and it was me up there. Well, sometimes it's for nothing, and sometimes it's for real. Sometimes you just know exactly how you feel, and I feel good.
I feel good.
I feel good, yeah. Sometimes it's for nothing, sometimes it's for real. Sometimes you just know exactly how you feel, and I feel good.
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 I feel
Just
good.
like I knew I would.
I
You know,
feel
feel
good.
good.
I feel 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 good.
I
Here we go.
feel good.
I feel good.
Nice, Alice.
I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow.
leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plow and lose my land, if I ever lose my hands, away, I won't have to work no more. I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth, north and south, if I ever lose my mouth, way, I think it was supposed to be eyes. Ready? I'm being followed.
And if I ever lose my eyes, all my colors all run dry. If I ever lose my eyes, way, I won't have to cry no more. I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. If I ever lose my legs, I won't moan and I won't beg. If I ever lose my legs, way, I won't have to walk no more. I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth, north and south, if I ever lose my mouth, way, I won't have to talk. I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow.
Good night, Asheville. If you're still with us, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next Wednesday night, same time, same station. And for the rest of you folks, please do join us.
Yes.
On Zoom.
And remember that the show keeps broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube, so you don't have to come into the Zoom, but we would love to see you there. It's really special for us to get to see you, as you always get to see us, return the favor. And now that we are off the air, we can talk about a couple things that we both are excited to talk about. Number one, if you are able to make a donation for tonight's show, great. Better yet, if I may, since it's just us.
It's just us.
And if you've already sent a donation, thank you, and we so appreciate that. You guys are keeping us going. And if you would like to become a patron, becoming a patron is a really special way to support me and Freebo. We each have a Patreon page, and Brandon is putting in all the links for sending a tip, but if Brandon also put in the Patreon as well, which I'm sure you are, there it is. You can just go to patreon.com/AliceHowe or /Freebo Music. We each have one. Freebo has a $3 level, a $7 level.
$7, $15, $25.
Mine are $5 and $7. It's give or take a couple bucks, but same idea. Basically, you commit to giving us $5 a month, however much you're able to afford, and
in return,
we bring you backstage, so to speak, into our creative worlds that we share only on Patreon. So what are some of the things that you're doing on there?
Well, I've got a version of Ancient from Montgomery that I did with the wonderful band Jerry Donahue. In fact, one of the last things he ever played on, especially for my patrons, way before it comes out as a single. It's on there already, and a piece that I wrote about songwriting. It's actually for Mike Williams on the Cordial
Mike
page.
Smith.
Or Mike Smith, I'm sorry. Mike Williams, a friend from Nashville. Mike Smith. William Smith, and William Sonoma. And a bunch of other stuff that I'm planning on putting up there, again, especially just for my patrons. And you, Alice?
Yeah, and I've been on Patreon for about a year. I have a goal right now of reaching 100 patrons. I'm only 9 or 10 away, so I would love to have you guys join tonight and get to that goal. That would be really special for me.
Just $5 a month for
I've
Alice.
done a lot of cool stuff on there. I've shared different essays about kind of the origins of my songs that you guys know already, like Twilight and Still on My Mind. I have a piece about each one of those and an early recording, like a voice memo on my phone, so you can kind of see how the song came to be. Now that I'm working on my next record, I'm sharing a lot of demos. I have lots more to share with the folks on there, and I do some private streaming concerts. I'm going to be doing one at the end of this month with Freebo. We're going to do a Sam Cooke night. He's going to help me learn some Sam Cooke songs. And someone just told me I have 93 patrons now. Thank you, Alan. I guess I'm 7 away from 100. That's very exciting.
Alan patronized both of us. Thank you, Alan. Really appreciate that.
So I just want to show you guys this stack of CDs because I am doing a special offer right now until next Friday, where if you sign up at $7 or more, I will send you a homemade mix CD featuring a few curated little selection of songs, kind of like an EP of stuff that no one has heard all together. So I'm going to take a couple unreleased tracks, a couple things you guys have heard, and just put them together in a special collection and burn it on my computer and write a little note to you and send it out. And I'm also sending out little lapel pins that I got printed with my logo on it. So that's just a special thing that I'm doing only until next Friday. So you got to take advantage of it in the next 10 days or so.
And for me, at any time, I've become a patron at any level. When I finish my book, you'll get a free copy of the book. In the meantime, you get excerpts of it. And also, besides these singles being released that you'll hear before anybody else, you will also get a free copy of the CD when it's out. So, again, it's just something that you can help us with little bits here and there, and we can give you free content because that's kind of what we do.
That is what we do.
We create content. We are creative people, and you can help us to continue that journey, and we appreciate it.
Yep. And if you watch Inside Live every week and, you want to just like not think about the whole donation thing, if you sign up,
you'll never have to donate again.
It's like you're paying $1 a show, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I'm also going to do a free workshop real soon, and songwriting, bass, guitar, but just whoever joins, say, hey, what would you like to learn that I know that I can help you with?
He knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we'll
Point
do those
is,
things.
we have a lot to share. These are just a couple ways that you guys can be there with us and support us. So we so appreciate it, and thanks for letting us give our little spiel. But we don't usually get as much time to talk about it because we often have a guest, and we want to, give time to them, talk about their stuff. So it's our chance to just totally sell it. So there we go. All right. I think we're going to open the doors, Brandon.
Let's open the door. Is anybody there?
Let's
anybody
let
come
him
into
in.
our little house here?
Come in. Hi, everybody. Yay. All right.
Let's see
They're
10
coming.
people. Kathy Sampson. All right. Anna, Thomas, James, Carolyn.
Chat. Let me open the chat.
Who else do we have? Don't be shy, folks. We want to see you.
Hey, you guys.
Hey, Storm. How you doing?
Storm. Hi, Carolyn.
Thank you. Angela, boy, we still got to get together. I got to send out that cable. Well, I'm not going to send you the cable, but I'm going to send you the information on how you can apply for it. But I promise I will get that together. I promise, Angela. Don't hate me. I'm a busy boy, and I'm scattered. I'm creative.
Are you supposed to give her a cable and you haven't?
Well, I'm not giving you the cable, but I have to go and give her the information on how she can do that. So you get in touch with Mike and send her the form. I will. Also, we're gonna do a workshop. I think a partial capo.
Yes.
Workshop.
Oh, Kathleen said she just signed up for both of our Patreons. Thank you so much, Kathleen.
Kathleen.
Thank you, Kathleen Sturgis. Is so great.
Oh, thank you, Kathleen.
Happy to have you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and GW, hi. Oh, it's nice to see you on
Is
here.
GW here?
He's
Where is
here. Gerald W.
Would you
He's-
click it so I can
it's
see
right
the
there.
names on there?
You can see it right
Oh,
there.
Gerald. Hey, GW. Wow. Now we were the last one before he shut down, and actually we talked with Jim about coming back. Maybe to the Ark or to your place, and he said, "Hey, until you can fill up the Ark, you may as well play at GW. He'd be happy to have you,
Let's
and
do
we
it.
would be happy to be there. Appreciate it. Hi, Terry Moody. Good to see you. Well, I can't see you, but I'm glad you're here.
Oh, and hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. Great. I am seeing all your comments coming in.
Okay,
Let
we
me
got almost
just-
20 people in the Zoom. That's nice. Thank you for joining us.
So we have some song requests. I'm thinking.
What's that? What would you like?
Well, one of them's pretty deep cut.
Oh,
Soulmates.
wow.
Yeah, I think we're
hope I
both
can
gonna have
remember
to.
that.
I think we better practice that.
Well, I could try it. I hope I
Maybe-
remember
maybe
that.
we
Wow.
could-
Who requested Soulmates?
Vincent, he's requesting the deep cuts that I can't remember how to
Oh,
play my
Vincent,
own song.
that's because you have that CD that I sent you. Thank you for that.
How about I play another song before we get
Okay.
into that zone?
And what might that be? Let me take these off for a second.
This is the tuning portion of the evening. Look at our little twin music mans. So cute.
Love it.
They look so nice together.
You guys like the way our guitars look together? Thank you. Thank you, Alan. So that's what you look like. All right. It's nice being able to see you guys. I love it.
You want to try this one with me?
That was one of the first songs. Applause.
Yay, we get to hear you. Hooray. Thanks, you guys. Really sweet to see you as always. And there's a lot of cats tonight. I'm really into it. We've got, is that a picture of, oh, maybe it's just a picture of Anne. She had a cat in her picture. And now Lynn has a cat. And I'm very jealous. That looks very cozy. Maybe everybody should bring their pet into their screen.
You know, that was one of the first songs.
Oh, there's a little owl. Look.
Wow.
What was that, Freebo?
Well, I'd say that was one of the first songs when you came out to California that we decided that we thought that was actually going to be on the first record. And,
I know.
And we thought, well, there are other things that might serve your voice better than that.
It's true, but
sounds pretty beautiful.
Actually, we have a track from that day with the band, and I've wanted to record the vocal again just to maybe give it to my patrons.
Your patrons, there you go. Uh-huh.
It's a really sweet. I remember JT played accordion.
That's right.
It's really nice. Yeah, so many recordings that like never find a home. They just collect. Oh my gosh, Storm! Now everybody's now Carolyn's got a fish. Puppet. Oh my God, Alan's got a beautiful cat that looks like it's not happy to be in the zoo. We got Storm with a monkey, a sock monkey. This is great. I'm really glad that I made that suggestion. Let's see if there's any questions we should get to before we open it up. Let's see. I think... Carolyn wanted to know if Edison Electric ever made any records.
Edison Electric made one record called Bless You, Dr. Woodward. And if anybody doesn't know who Dr. Woodward was, he was one of the first guys, maybe the only guy back in the day when pot was illegal, which is finally becoming unillegal. But I think probably maybe when they were making it illegal, he said, wait a second. You picked the wrong
time to quit, Freebo.
I did. I know. But anyway, he was... one of the few people who said, wait a second, why are you making this illegal? And so since we were very much into smoking pot in those days, we called it, here it is, Bless You, Dr. Woodward. And show them the back of it.
Can you find Freebo? That's the trick question. Okay, here he is, ready? Ta-da! And actually, that's Mark Jordan, who is going to be on my record as well.
Yeah, Mark, very, very talented keyboard player. When Edison broke up and I went with Bonnie, Mark went off with Van Morrison. He wound up playing on Tupelo Honey and a whole bunch of Van stuff, and played with Dave Mason and Jackson and Bonnie and Winona, a whole bunch of people, Delbert McClinton. And the guitar player in that band, a guy named T.J. Tyndall, when we broke up, he started hanging out at studios in Philadelphia, Sigma Sound, and he wound up playing on a whole bunch of the Gamble and Huff records, the Spinners, the OJs, a lot of that, the Philadelphia Soul stuff he was on. So it was a pretty cool band. The record doesn't really do us justice, I don't think. I shudder when I hear it. I go, oh my God.
You shudder when you hear everything.
No, not everything.
Can't even, see, I love Bonnie Raitt, obviously, as should everyone. And it's kind of hard to listen to those old records with Freebo because he gets all like...
Well, it's everything that I thought should be done. I start reliving it.
It's like, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like talking over it. He's like, oh, this mix, like, man, what I wouldn't do to remix this, like, oh, like, where's the bass? There's no bass, and it's like, will you I am listening to the song.
I'm sorry. I apologize. But that's basically why I went into songwriting and producing, because I thought, you know what?
Rightfully
I want to do it my way, damn it.
True.
And I love what we're doing together, that's for sure. I really do.
Well.
More questions from these people?
Yeah, there was one. Somebody had asked, Todd asked whether we grew up in musical families. So I thought that'd be kind of a nice...
Why don't you answer that first?
Yeah, my parents and my family loved music. I wouldn't say it was certainly not a family band, but my father had a beautiful voice. My brother has a beautiful voice. So we would sing together. Actually, my grandmother would play piano sometimes. So I guess there was like just a natural musicality, but not like any kind of professional, like specifically trained in any kind of way. So I grew up just being around a lot of great music that my parents loved, 50s, 60s, 70s folk and rock and blues and all kinds of cool stuff that, we would listen to records. And I was always around older people, like my brother's 9 years older than me. So I'd hear his music and I'd borrow his like Grateful Dead CD. And, so I was exposed to a lot of really good stuff. And I think that had a huge effect on me. And we'd sing at summer camp. And so it was always, music was very present.
Well, my experience was completely different. I mean, music was always present, but in a whole different way. My father was a lawyer, and he had polio as a kid, so he was somewhat crippled, and he couldn't really play piano, but we had a piano in the house that my mother had taken piano lessons on, same piano that I have right here that I learned how to play piano. And so I had an older brother, and he was taking piano lessons at 6 years old, where I was 3. So I was listening to all the stuff he did, and I think at 5 I started taking lessons. And my dad would sit there and kind of pick out certain notes. And I was raised Jewish, and we would sit on high holidays. We would sit in the synagogue, and a lot of the Hebrew music is pretty. There's no harmonies, and it tends to be minor. It tends to be very sad and heavy, and oh my God, and first the Philistines, and then the Egyptians, and then, and so there were certain things when it would come to certain notes. My brother and my dad and I would all of a sudden sing 3-part harmonies, which is really cool. And I always enjoyed the a cappella choir coming down to grade school. And I thought, when I grow up and get into high school and my voice changes, I want to be bass in the choir, which eventually I was. And the marching band would come around town, and on certain, Memorial Day and Little League Parade. And I thought, I always wanted to be in that marching band. I eventually was with the tuba. And then my dad always played classical music around the house and really educated my ear to Beethoven and Mozart and Stravinsky and Aaron Copland, things like that. And the last thing is, my parents would go to New York, and they would very often, they loved going to the musical comedies, and they would bring home the original cast recordings of Carousel and South Pacific and West Side Story. And I was really fortunate to be taken to New York by them and see the original cast in New York on Broadway of West Side Story.
That's so cool.
So all of these different combinations between Beethoven and John Philip Sousa and the Christmas carols and eventually then radio coming over with Little Richard and Chuck Berry, it all just kind of hooked into who I am musically, and the piano lessons really helped that. Did you have early lessons on piano or guitar?
I was very bad piano student.
But did you have it for a little bit?
Yeah, I was pretty horrible about it.
Were you?
Yeah, I would
in rebellion mode?
I was fighting it every note of the way. Because for me, I've talked about this with Florence, with the vocal teacher. I was just a singer from when I was so little that I think I just really rebelled against learning an instrument. It felt so tedious, and It is, and I didn't want to do I didn't want to practice because I didn't have to practice singing. It just came out of me.
Right.
So I think I was very resistant to that. It felt
I don't need no practice.
I was just not a good music student. I did get a little more dedicated when I learned guitar because I had a great teacher. I really liked my teacher, which I didn't so much my piano teacher. I was very afraid of her.
No, and that's really important.
Yeah.
I mean, the early teachers we have, whether it be grade school or high school or music, is really important.
I'm just picturing her now, and it's not a good image.
What was her name?
I have no
I don't
idea.
remember.
I don't know.
Made a real impression on me.
My mom would take me to that room, and I'd be like, no. And Jack also, one more question I wanted to answer. He said, how old were each of you when you wrote your first song? Because he said Jackson Browne wrote These Days when he was 16, which has always just blown me away. And I thought it'd be funny for us to answer that because we have very different answers.
We sure do. For me, I was in my 40s when I wrote one song in my 30s, but my first real song in my 40s. So I'm very, very late bloomer for a songwriter. And Alice, I heard you writing songs when you were 3.
There are cassette recordings of me singing my little songs when I was 3 or 3.5. About little animals and other made-up creatures that I knew personally. And I even remember this one. I would write them down in a little book. Like I would not pay attention during math class, and I would write my little things in my book in the back of the class under my desk. So, and I'd make up my melodies, and it really helped me once I learned guitar, because I could actually. They were sort of these rambling, like crazy melodies that went nowhere, and then I finally put some chords to them, and they started to take a little more shape. But it was pretty early practice for me. So
yeah, the craft of songwriting.
Yeah, maybe we should.
I see all these faces looking very serious, and I have a feeling that some of them want to say something.
They look.
Now they're
serious.
Smiling a little bit, which is nice.
Hi guys. Does anyone want to say hello?
Jack, you want to say
maybe raise
something?
your hand.
Just that you both sound really good tonight, and I love the new electric guitar, Alice.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you.
I hope
very
you don't
much.
abandon the Martin, though. I love Martin guitars.
No way. It's actually right here. I'm just loving, honestly, the green one is a little closer to me, so I keep reaching for it. But it's very easy to play, because it's just like that. The neck is just really smooth, and the tension is really low on an electric, so it feels really good to play. So I've been kind of, it makes my Martin feel like this big, like, chunky neck again, which I it's funny to have the contrast, but they're so different. They are both special in their own way.
I've often wondered, I'm a big fan of many singer-songwriter types, and when you see them in concert, they have an electric guitar and acoustic, and I've often wondered why they choose one over the other. Is it for that sound of that song, or is it playability? What drives the decision?
Good question. Well, I mean, certainly the sound of an electric
Yeah.
is so much, and plus an electric, you can make so many different sounds.
I feel like it's wanting to add that, like a chorus, or kind of that spooky or like edgy thing. It's like if you want to do a repeating riff, maybe you want to do it on the electric, because there's like more sustain, and you can kind of do those cool sounds. Yeah, that's what I would say.
And it depends on who you're playing with. I
Yeah.
mean, she just got this recently, so when we play with a band, I think Alice is going to find it's a whole different experience. You don't have to worry about, are you getting the sound? You can play through an amplifier. You can hear it better.
Yeah.
It has certain tonal qualities that cut through,
Yeah.
the thickness of a band. And then it looks cool. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a whole different thing. You feel different when you're playing electric guitar. There's just different instruments make you feel differently, and you move differently. I know when I play bass, I move differently than when I play acoustic guitar, and I don't even think about it. It just happens. So different instruments do different things to you.
Thank you. I'll let someone else have the floor.
Great to see
All right,
you.
thanks,
Can't wait to
Jack.
see you this summer.
Look forward to that.
Yep, it's going to be great.
Anybody else?
Anybody
Raise
wanna
your
say
hand.
hi?
Ask a question or make a request or.
I'm looking at you all.
Boy, you're all so shy
You're so
today.
shy.
My goodness gracious.
Hi, James. I want to say hi to James. Hi. I believe you became a patron today. Am I making that up?
No, you're not. I really did. Yes.
Yay, thank you. I thought I saw your name come in. I was hoping that I was correct in remembering that, and that I wasn't just like calling you out and you were going to be like, what are you talking about? Thank you.
And
Happy to
James,
have you.
were you not a patron of mine before that?
Well,
Don't do that.
I'm just putting him on the spot.
Thank you.
That's okay.
We're happy to have you. And
We are.
We the royal we.
The royal way. Speaking of royalty, poor Prince Philip didn't quite make it to 100.
Yeah.
Any of you out there watch The Crown at all? Raise your hand if you watch The Crown. No?
Yes,
Jack?
there are some. Sue.
Sue?
It is so good.
It's really good. I mean, I didn't think I'd be the least bit interested in it, but wow, it's so well written, acted, directed, and I mean, it's mostly historical with some, drama, poetic license thrown in, but great perspective on the royal family, which I never thought I even cared about, but it throws them in as human beings, and you get to see they all have their shit, and everyone was affected by the one before and by each other. It's pretty fascinating.
You've got a request that I think you should take.
What's that?
Take them up on.
What?
Alan would like to hear "Funk Up the Folk."
Oh,
and I
Funk
think that's
Up
a
the
great
Folk.
idea.
We can do that.
Maybe
All
we
right.
should.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do it.
All right. I'll do that on acoustic because you're not tuned down a whole step. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate that.
All right. And I love that Lynn asked if we wanted to play a gig in Pennsylvania this fall or summer, and I just want to say
Where in Pennsylvania?
I told her to email me, but truthfully, all of you guys who are like really in our little group every week, and you've been such great communicators with us, we are going on a pretty major road trip this summer to Muscle Shoals and then up to the Northeast and back again. So our schedule is definitely going to allow for some house concerts. And if anyone in this group is somewhere on our route and wants to host us for a house concert, I would say, let's talk. We would love to do it maybe a weeknight if it's not possible to do a weekend. So please just write to me. It's alice@alicehowe.com or write to Freebo at freebomusic.com. Either one of us would be happy to talk about that.
In fact, somebody was on earlier in the chat from Colorado. I don't know where in Colorado, but we're actually going to Muscle Shoals by way of Colorado, Kansas, St. Louis, and Chicago.
Obviously, as you
slightly
do.
circuitous route. But
It had to be
we will
done.
be coming through Colorado, so if you're still on, and if it works out, that might be kind of cool. That'll be in the end of June sometime, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so let us know where you guys are. If you want to write to me, we can totally talk about setting something up. And we are going to be going through Nashville, and we hope to play at the City Winery. We haven't confirmed that yet, but we'll see what we can do. Definitely will be in Nashville. And Vincent, the new record is probably going to come out early 2022. So I want to say February 2022 to be safe.
James, where do you live?
We've been in touch with him.
I get names mixed up. Where's James live?
He's in New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey. That's right. Of course.
Yeah.
We are going to come in Nashville. I think we're trying to get a
I
gig
already
together
answered that
there.
question.
But okay, I better just play the damn song and not focus on the chat.
I already answered all
That's
the
what
questions.
I better do. Okay.
While you were tuning.
You-
I was trying to save
all right.
time, and then you went back and answered them all again.
Would you hold my pick for me, Alice, please?
Yes. It's all...
Where's in my mouth?
You spit on it. This is for Alan. Thanks for suggesting.
There's a wrong that needs righting, I gotta say out loud. There's a time for uniting, a time to stand proud. People raising their voices to do the right thing. People coming together to stand up and sing. Now the music makes the mountains move, but it ain't gonna move without no groove. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't you think time to funk up the folk?
Don't you think it's time to funk it up?
Well, it ain't no crime and it ain't no show. Don't you think it's time to funk up the folk? Don't you think it's time to funk it up? Funk it up. Well, I got no gripe with the kumbaya, but what would have happened if Woody had a wah-wah? Ow. Dylan was a killing in 64. When he plugged it in, he was killing it even more.
I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more.
Marvin Gaye and Marley had it on a funky beat. But when the masses heard the music, they were taking it to the street. Oh, don't you think it's time to funk up the folk? Don't you think it's time to funk it up? Well, it ain't no crime and it ain't no joke. Don't you think it's time to funk up the folk? Don't you think it's time to funk it up?
Funk it up.
Puff the Magic Dragon, Charlie on the MTA.
Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned.
Never return.
Mr. Tambourine Man, each one sold $1 million in their day.
Come on, people now.
Smile on your brother, all the times they are changing. Sonny, the beat goes on, with a little bit of rearranging, sweeten up the same old song. Oh, don't you think it's time to funk up the folk? Don't you think it's time to funk it up? Well, it ain't no crime and it ain't no joke. Don't you think it's time to funk up the folk? Don't you think it's time to funk it up?
Funk it up.
TV news got you singing the blues and your head is spinning around. Get your tie-dye tee and your blue suede shoe, putting the good foot down. Oh, don't you think it's time to funk up the folk? Don't you think it's time to funk it up? Well, it ain't no crime and it ain't no joke. Don't you think it's time to funk up the folk? Don't you think it's time to funk it up? Don't you think it's time to funk up the folk? Don't you think it's time to funk it up? Well, it ain't no crime and it ain't no joke. Don't you think it's time to funk up the folk? Don't you think it's time to funk it up?
Funk it up, Alan.
Well, we hope you're not shocked or offended by the message we shared in this song. But we needed to add one more verse here, 'cause folk songs you know are quite long. But we're all out of things to express now, and also we've run out of rhyme. What shall we do? Can you guess now?
Alan, what shall we do?
Yeah, tell us. Do you know?
Let's play that chorus one more time.
Exactly. He got it.
Yes, we'll sing the chorus one more time. Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't you think it's time to funk up the folk? Don't you think it's time to funk it up? Well, it ain't no crime and it ain't no joke. Don't you think it's time to funk up the folk? Don't you think it's time to funk it up?
Funk it up. Thanks for that request, Alan. That was fun. Man, I was watching you, Alice. You were really getting down, man. You
I
were really
was,
you
you
were
know.
getting funky with your bad self.
Thank you, Freebo and Alice.
Funky with her bad
Oh,
self.
you are welcome, Alan. He said, "Thank you, Freebo and Alice. It's our
You're
pleasure."
quite welcome.
It's a fun one. You know, I was trying to get on my blue suede shoes. Hey, I just realized we need to do the giveaway.
We need to give the giveaway. Yes, we do. And,
So Brandon has the
everybody
number.
sent the numbers in?
We have not even announced it yet.
No, we haven't.
No, so they have not sent their numbers in because we have not.
But
announced.
I see people. Oh, people going
That-
1, 2, 3,
that was
4.
not-
I see. What
that
they're
was not
doing.
related.
Okay.
So
Well, let's
everybody,
announce it then.
let's make sure we do our Cordial cable giveaway. So as you probably know, if you've been watching Inside Live for any of the last 33 weeks, we give away a premium instrument or microphone cable and a t-shirt from our favorite instrument cable company, Cordial Cables USA. They are premium instrument cables, 99.9% pure virgin copper, made in Germany.
Virgin copper?
That's what it says.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't just make that up.
Well, I just had never heard
That's
the virgin
better
part
than
before.
regular
It
copper,
probably
apparently.
is. Like virgin olive oil or
Untouched copper.
untouched, yes. Pure,
It's
pure. That's
the good shit,
Yes,
as
yeah.
they say.
Yes.
So we are giving one away. They are worth $100. They're really nice. Those of you who have won know how
Lifetime
great they are.
guarantee, folks. Only one you'll ever need.
So everybody put a number between 1 and 100 in the chat, and Brandon is keeping an eye on it. And when we announce the winner, we will get you in touch with the folks at Cordial, and we'll get you hooked up with that cable. So guess away.
Guess away, guess away.
And I wanted to. I feel like there was something. Oh, good. There's some. What's so great about copper? Well, that's a good question.
I think it has to do with conductivity.
Yeah, and I think the fact that has such a high percentage of copper. I hope this is correct what I'm saying, but the fact that they emphasize that it's 99% copper implies that some cable companies use other metals in addition to copper.
Which apparently, since copper is such great conductivity, that there's basically no resistance. And so when you start to put impurities in, it creates a resistance which stops the flow. Therefore, the sound is not as good.
And can also lead to buzzing and other
Exactly.
undesirable like background noise
Right.
that you, especially when recording, live, sure, there's like noise in the room, but when you're recording, and you're plugging your guitar and you want that really clean signal. So they're excellent for that.
In fact, all our cables are Cordial cables. That's why we sound so good.
Can we do another?
Except for
Cat
when we
Stevens?
don't.
Without the copper, you sound like Joe Cocker.
Joe Copper.
Yes, exactly. Very good analogy.
Who said that?
Thomas said that.
Oh.
Someone asked if we do any other Cat Stevens songs.
Mike, you already won.
And
Come on, man. You had 87 for the Cordial. You already
You're allowed
won
to
one.
guess.
What-
He's allowed.
I
to
guess you can.
again.
I guess you can win 2. It's okay.
He needs one to go from the amp to the speaker box. That's
That's
a
right.
great point.
Okay, you're right.
And I know that Sue has won 2, and she sent one to her son.
Yeah, that's right. But is she allowed to have 3 if she wins the third one? I guess she is. There's no limits to
There's
this,
no
right?
rules. This
All right.
Inside Live is just
Love that
it's a
no rules.
lawless place.
Alice, I somehow
I know we're
get
very
lost in
tangled right now.
here.
It's not good at all.
Tangled in blue.
Oh, you're fine.
I am now. Yep. Are you gonna play a song? Should I get my bass out?
I'm tempted to do this, but I won't. I'll save it. I'm gonna learn this other song for next week. There is another Cat Stevens song that I used to do, but I better not just do it on the fly. Bad things will happen. We'll practice it, Freebo.
What song is that?
I used to do Where Do the Children Play? And I made you learn Wild World.
You did.
You don't remember how to play it, do you?
Well, I can play it on bass.
Well, that doesn't help me.
Oh.
Will we be doing any live streams from Muscle Shoals?
Probably
not.
No,
It's
we'll
going to
be
be
pretty
pretty
busy.
intense. However, we will be. I'm having the whole tracking session and first couple days of mixing professionally filmed, and I will be making that into a basically like a mini documentary at some point. So, very excited about that. Yeah, and I will probably be doing a pre-order in the next 6 months for that record. So you guys are going to be the first to hear about all that. So don't worry, you'll know what's going on. I will be telling you.
What's going on with these numbers? 8.5, 8 3/4.
There.
So Keith, you just want to meet Terry just in case the number was 9 and he did 8.5. You want to get closer to it, right?
I mean, we have to announce the winner because he basically got it.
Who did?
Who do you think?
Mike?
Yes.
Mike got it?
Mike Edwards won with 87.
Well, he's been a great supporter
Mike,
for
you're
years.
killing
He
it.
really has.
The number was 88. I feel like I should just end
And
it there because he was one away.
89? Wow.
Congratulations, Mike Edwards.
Congratulations,
2 weeks
thank
in a
you.
row. I feel like that's people. He did not know the number. Okay, he's a friend, but he's not getting like inside info here. He's just really lucky, I guess. You're welcome, Mike. Congratulations.
And are the cables going to be in the sweat lodge when we do the sweat? Never mind.
What should I play, Freebo?
I don't know.
They're suggesting all these songs that I don't actually know.
Well, play something you know.
How about... Really got to finish the bridge to Love Has No Rules.
I know it.
I don't.
Oh.
It doesn't have any words.
That's some words.
Good idea, Sue. I'm going to do a case of you.
Oh.
Let me have your guitar. That's a great idea, Sue.
Okay. Should be more or less in tune. We'll check it out.
And for those who haven't listened yet, I did just release a single of this tune. You can find it on Spotify. It's Joni Mitchell's song, A Case
Check
of
it
You.
out. It's really nice.
Produced by Freebo. It's
Sung by Alice Howe just absolutely gorgeously. Really beautiful.
really proud of it. So yeah, definitely check that song out. All right, here we go. Just before our love got lost, you said, I am as constant as a northern star. And I said, constantly in the darkness, where's that at? If you want me, I'll be in the bar. On the back of a cartoon coaster, in a blue TV screen light, I drew a map of Canada, oh Canada, with your face sketched on it twice. Oh, but you're in my blood like holy wine. It tastes so bitter and so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you, darling, and I would still be on my feet, still be on my feet. I am a lonely painter. I live in a box of pains. I'm frightened by the devil, and I'm drawn to those ones that ain't afraid. I remember that time you told me, you said, love is touching souls. Surely your touch to mine, 'cause part of you pours out of me in these lines. I met a woman, she had a mouth like yours. She knew your life, she knew your devils and your deeds. And she said, go to him, stay with him if you can, but be prepared to bleed. Oh, but you're in my blood like holy wine. It tastes so bitter and so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you, darling, and I would still be on my feet, still be on my feet. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. So
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
what a boy.
Well, I thought maybe we could end with Angel tonight, but did anybody want to say hello who's in the Zoom just before we do a final tune?
I wanted to say hi.
Hi, Storm.
Hi, Storm.
And I wanted to tell you my monkey is not a sock monkey.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's a therapy monkey.
Oh my god. That is extremely loud. Thank you. That was very amusing and surprising.
That's its purpose.
That's
It
great.
makes me smile every time I hear it.
Electric guitar, so I can put the bit down there.
Oh, sorry, Storm. We got a little tangled up. Here we go. Yes, well, that's. I apologize for offending him or her. Oh my.
The only problem is they put the battery in the stomach, so you gotta wrestle it to turn it off.
Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you're doing well, Storm. It's nice to see you. I'm glad you got your monkey watching tonight.
It definitely has gotten me through some.
Yes.
I was
That's
under the impression that cordial cables were tangle proof.
Tangle proof. Are you? I'm very gullible. Is this a joke?
Yes.
My attempt.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for clarifying for me.
What did I miss?
You missed a lot.
Oh,
There's no way I could possibly fill you in. You
Freebo-
missed-
On a more serious note, I want to do a phone call or something to figure out what we can do since I can't seem to get a card to do Patreon.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, we can work it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Why
I
don't
want to give you
you-
both a year.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you
that's
so
sweet.
much.
Thank you, man.
I think we can probably figure out a way to do that. I
Yeah.
just have had a lot on my plate and haven't quite dealt with it. But if you could, maybe why don't you write to Freebo? Because I think you guys have been in touch.
Yeah,
and,
Freebo at freebomusic.com.
And I'll
Okay.
get in on that too.
And,
Why don't
yeah.
you send Freebo your phone number? And
Okay.
We'll give you a call. This
Okay.
week.
Yeah, we've got to figure out how to do that through Patreon, but
Yeah.
we appreciate it. Thank
I
you,
think
Storm.
there's got to be a way. I'll get in touch with them. We want you to be able to give us money, Storm.
Thomas, I haven't heard from you yet today.
Well, he said
He
he
said
was
something?
wondering if we were getting Mushu tonight, which I don't think so.
No, that was a one-time thing.
I know.
It's a bit of a trek. You got to go over Laurel Canyon.
I have to
get
say
there.
I really enjoyed that though. They also have like little they have a drink menu that they call foo-foo drinks, just like which I think is hilarious.
Foo-foo.
Foo-foo. So I got a foo-foo drink to go in addition to the Mushu, which was pretty fun.
Mushu and Fufu, I love it. The restaurant is called Genghis Cohen. Genghis Cohen.
Let me check
It's
the
really
image.
good.
Yes, Thomas?
No, it's not. It's not Chinese Jewish food, but it's Chinese like L.A. kind of, pretty much Chinese food, but it was opened by a Jewish guy.
Talk to us.
Talk to us, Thomas.
Well, how
Let
about
me hear that voice.
What is the other place? Din Tan Fung, the soup buns. Do you know about that?
Is that in Thai
like the
Town? What is
soup
that?
dumplings.
Yes, Din Tai Fung.
Those are really good. I have not. I honestly, the whole time I've lived in LA has basically been COVID, so I haven't gotten to explore as much as I would like.
Could you turn Freebo onto that, Alice? You
try.
might like it. I've
I gotta
been there
find
once.
where they are.
I bet I will.
Oh,
like
they're
everything.
really good. My nephew lives in Pasadena, and he took me there. And I have them in Chinatown in New York a lot. And they're not, you can't get them everywhere. And he knew I liked them. He said, Uncle Tom, I'm going to take you to Din Tai Fung. And apparently it's famous in LA, like your place, Genghis Kongus Mushu or
Genghis
whatever.
Cohen, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, pastrami. Yeah.
But I don't think of you as an Uncle Tom.
Oh, yeah, I am. Acid free, though, Uncle Tom. Yeah.
I'm glad you like that, Carol, and thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh, wait, I didn't get it. Yep.
Oh
yeah.
my God. There it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, are you guys
Lynn got that one. That's good.
Are you gonna promote any of the East Coast, New York metro area? Will you promote any of the house shows that you're able to invite Patreons or whatever we're considered in this community?
Well, I'm not sure what's the closest we're going to play to New York City. I'm not sure.
Well,
The best way to keep in touch about shows besides this is to sign up for our newsletter. So go and sign up on mine. I'll put the link in the chat. But just have you done that already, Thomas?
I think so. But one of the things I'm just trying to convey is, even if some of the house shows aren't made public to the general internet population, if you might share them with any of us where you can. I don't know how the house shows work, but you may get some people, like if I was to have a house show, I'd say, hey, besides my friends, we can invite 5 or 10 other people from your community.
That's kind of the way they work.
That is usually how it works. Actually, it's not unless the host specifically says, like, I don't want to invite anybody. Typically, it's open to like our people, and we will usually announce it to, whether it's a house concert or a venue show. Those are usually all included in the newsletter and also on my website. And it'll just say like house concert, Princeton, New Jersey, whatever. And then you can
never put the address on.
Yeah, we the details. It's kind of like a ask for more info, or like we'll give the contact information of the host.
An email or a phone
something.
number, and then they get in touch with the host, and the host sends them the information so that it's not, out to the public.
But it's totally going to be, once the schedule is kind of firmed up, it's still like wiggling around a little bit. But once we get some more details, we'll both be announcing,
Okay. And one other thing I'd like to share, then Brandon, I'll shut up after this. Freebo, I don't know if you got my email, but there's a gentleman named Seth Walker. I don't know if you've got it, but he might be interested in playing on this show, and his manager is Kevin Calabro, and I think they're very interested in participating on this event. And he's a very good blues guy. He's out of Asheville and Nashville, but he's in Asheville now. Cool. You might be interested. I don't know if you saw my email about a month ago.
Did you send it to Freebo at freebomusic.com?
I think so. I'll try again.
Just remind me, and I'll look for that. But I'll follow through on that. Thank you.
Okay.
We don't have, just so you know, and you might want to tell your friends, but we're not sure how many more of these shows we're going to do. To be honest with you, because once we head off on the road, we don't want to take all this equipment with us. So we know we're not going to be doing any shows in July or August. And it probably means we're not going to do a show at the end of June. And we're thinking maybe of going to Europe. We know we're going to Americana Fest in Nashville, and maybe to Europe after that. So we're actually not sure when these shows are going to resume. So enjoy them while you can. and we will.
Inside Live might be winding slowly down in the next month and a half.
Yeah, we're not sure, and then we'll see whether whether they're going to be around to bring them back, or maybe what we'll do is we'll do a combination of from time to time shows from here, from LA, and we're going to try and figure out how we
keep
can
it going.
And we're trying to figure out how we can
way.
stream from the road.
We'll keep the brand alive.
Oh yeah, no, because we love
we put
doing
in a
this.
lot of work with this, and we love you guys. So we're not
really
gonna
do.
just like never do a live streaming show again at all. It's definitely gonna keep going in some form, and many of the shows that each of us do together and separately are gonna be, streamed from clubs at this point. Actually, I'm gonna be back in Boston. Visiting family for a couple weeks, and I'll be doing a solo live stream show from Club Passim. So I'll be doing like a nice, full like setup in their stage solo show on May 22nd. So that's a Saturday night. So I'll definitely remind you guys about that.
Thank you. Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Alice,
Yeah.
your voice. Freebo, your stuff. It's just great. I'm so glad you called Rory that night when I was watching Rory. Oh my God.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, Rory's great. We should try to have her on one more time.
And by the way, somebody asked at some point me to do a song where I whistle. I have a song called Trouble, where the hook is whistling, and maybe next time I'll do that. You guys come on to chat.
I can't whistle.
I can.
I know. Get your guitar.
Oh, I should get my guitar. Okay. All right, I'm going to put this down here.
Well, let's see. We've really appreciated this. This show has really kept us going. It's kept me honest. It's kept me like on the ball. It's like it's given me something to focus on each week, and I just, however many more we do, regularly, I just want to be sure you guys know how much we appreciate you being here, because it's been a journey this past year for all of us. When Thomas asked about house concerts, I genuinely had to think for a second, like, how do they work again? Like, I don't remember. Oh, I stole your tuner.
I thought you did.
I did, because it was buzzing. I'm sorry.
My tuner was buzzing?
It was making that sort of annoying vibration noise.
Oh. Well, let me put it on here.
I better take notes for what we say we're going to play next week. Trouble. All right, let the requests come in now, because we'll have to practice for next week.
Soulmate. Somebody requested Soulmate.
Okay. With whoever our guest is.
Vincent requested Soulmates.
Oh, the Cat Stevens songs. Good call. Lady in a turban.
Yeah. Cocaine tree.
Does the dance so rhythmically. She's crying and singing. She's having a ball.
Gee, that cocaine tree looks fine. Won't you put on your sailing shoes? Put on your sailing shoes. Everyone will start to cheer when you put on your sailing shoes.
am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another child that's grown old. His dreams were thunder and lightning was desire. This old house would have burned down such a long time ago.
Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery.
Make me a poster of an old rodeo.
Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. You weren't much to look at, just a free rambling man. But that was a long time ago, and no matter how I tried, the years they just flow by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery.
Make me a poster
Of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
There's flies in the kitchen, I hear 'em all buzzing, and they ain't done nothing since I woke up today.
How the hell can a person go to work in the morning and come home in the evening and have nothing to say? Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I see you clapping.
They clapping.
Thank you
Thank
all
you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Rest in peace, John Prine.
Mm-hmm.
Amen, Sam. Great. Yeah. Thank you
Thank
all
you,
so
Bruce.
much.
Appreciate that. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah,
Thanks
and
for,
it just occurred to me, I was just thinking if anyone would like to seriously be in touch about doing a house concert later this summer, Brandon, would you just put the link alicehowe.com/contact in the chat? And you can just send me a message on there if you want to talk about doing a house concert with us, ask, what that's about, what that would be like, what kind of, if you've done it before, maybe, if you haven't, we can talk about it. Maybe we could just come into your driveway and play for you and some friends,
Yeah,
Maybe we could do what Seth Clear was talking about, Freebo and I have talked about that, kind of just making it a thing where we say, like, we want X amount of money, we'll come, play for however many people, just make it really easy. So if you are interested,
we'll be bringing our Fishman loud boxes, so we'll have 2 of them, so we can actually. Whoops! Everybody's still there. Oh, there you go.
Don't worry.
Yeah, so we'll be able to actually. We'll have our own amplification system. We can a couple mics, so be small, so you don't have to provide a PA or anything like that. We can do it literally in your driveway.
Yeah. So
People
so
come with
really,
lawn chairs.
just click that link. It takes you to a contact form, and you can just say, "Hey, I'm really interested in having you guys come by." If it's on our route, we will. Maybe we should post our route.
No, we can even go a little bit out of our way.
True.
Here and there.
True.
So.
Well, thanks everybody. We love you all, and if you guys want to unmute and say goodbye as we say goodbye, that would be fine.
Yeah, that'd be great. Why don't you all unmute so we can hear you all say goodbye?
Bye.
That'd be great.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Happy
you so
trails.
much.
Good to see you again.
Community.
Another great show.
Thank you all. We'll see you next
Thank
week.
you, Alan. We love seeing you guys each week. It's great.
Thank you,
We have
Brandon.
Nice little community we got.
You guys
Brandon,
sound
you're the
really
best.
good together.
Love seeing you guys too. Thanks.
Thank you, Lynn.
Bye, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good night.
Cheerio.
Good
Bye-bye.
night, Gracie.
Namaste.
Night,
Good night,
Jim Bob.
Church.
Good night, Moon.
Good night, Moon. Good night, Storm.
Good night, Ann.
We need an Irene in here.
Oh my God! Yes.
Irene, good night.
Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams.
All right.
Hey, we managed to pull that off. That
We
didn't
did
sound
it.
too bad.
Bye bye.
We're professionals, Storm.
Bye, everyone.
No, but there were 3 of us singing with mics.
You guys are practically
was great.
professionals too. No, it sounded great. Wonderful. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
Night, LA.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Brandon.